Ah, another day, another laughably embarrassing revelation about the state of Disney Star Wars. This one coming courtesy of Adam Driver, who recently did an interview where he revealed plans for a Kylo Ren movie set after the events of Rise of Skywalker.
That doesn't make sense.
Sure, okay. Quote, I always was interested in doing another Star Wars. I'd been talking about doing another one since 2021. Kathleen had reached out. I always said, with a great director and a great story, I'd be there in a second. I loved that character and loved playing him. Liar! Let me just stop you there for a second, Adam. Apart from the fact that great stories and great directors in Disney Star Wars are about as likely as liberal arts graduates that have gone on to do anything worthwhile with their lives, tell me, what aspect of playing Kylo Ren did you love specifically? Was it his childish temper tantrums in response to the most minor of setbacks? Was it his weird borderline fetish hero worship for a dead grandfather that he'd never even met? Was it getting his ass beat by a 100-pound girl with no fighting experience in his very first confrontation against her? Maybe it was killing his own master in a room full of elite Praetorian guards with no plan for how to escape, or engaging in a kiss so embarrassing that he literally died of cringe within seconds. Anyway, I digress. Apparently he tapped director Steven Soderbergh to direct and even had a script fleshed out titled The Hunt for Ben Solo. Yeah, sure, okay, buddy. According to Driver, it was one of the coolest fucking scripts that I've ever been part of.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
That right there is the kind of statement I'd expect from a guy like John Boyega, who's been in like 3 things outside of Star Wars and is so desperate for relevance these days that his victimhood stories changed more times than Megan Fox's face. And even he struggles to remember who he's angry at now. Anyway, let us continue our sordid tale. We presented the script to Lucasfilm. They loved the idea. They totally understood our angle and why we were doing it. You know, I actually find that one especially hard to believe, not unless the film was used as a bait and switch to make Rey the main character again, because really, why else would Kathleen Kennedy break the habit of a lifetime and greenlight a movie with a male lead? Especially a male lead who was arguably more popular than her own self-insert and would run the risk of overshadowing her.
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
But sure, fine, let's just go with it. We took it to Bob Iger and Alan Bergman and they said no. They didn't see how Ben Solo was alive and that was that.
He's out of line, but he's right.
I mean, much as I hate agreeing with Bob Iger on something, he did kind of have a point there. Kylo Ren died of cringe at the end of Rise of Skywalker, and as much as you can debate the level of retardation in that movie, well, it was still canon and Kylo Ren was still dead. And the fact your pitch apparently didn't address this pretty massive stumbling block within the first 30 seconds tells me that it probably wasn't the coolest fucking script you've ever been part of. Either way, creative choices aside, I can still 100% understand the business case for not greenlighting another Star Wars movie back in 2021, or ever for that matter. Rise of Skywalker cost a mind-boggling $600 million to make, and even then barely turned a profit. In fact, if you add in what must have been the Mount fucking Everest of marketing budgets to try to push that turd on the world, the movie might still be in the red to this very day. And let's not even talk about Solo, which going by the most conservative estimates, lost the studio at least $100 million. I mean, if a movie about Han fuck-mothering Solo, probably the coolest character in all of Star Wars, couldn't turn a profit, then what chance did this dorky, moody, emotionally unstable, emo Darth Vader wannabe have of generating interest? No wonder they killed the fucking thing. In fact, I'm just surprised they didn't try to repackage it as some shitty miniseries on Disney Plus, which seems to be their standard procedure for all those aborted movie scripts that never made the cut. And believe it or not, this is all coming from someone who actually likes Adam Driver as an actor. He's clearly a talented guy who's well respected in the industry, always comes across well in interviews, and has carved out a successful career for himself post-Star Wars. He's not like Daisy Ridley or John Boyega, who found out pretty quickly that they didn't have the acting range, the charisma, or the star power to make it on their own, and were easily lured back by the prospect of another big Disney paycheck. Hang in there, Daisy, I'm sure that Rey movie will happen for you someday. Adam Driver doesn't need Star Wars. In fact, I'd argue his career is probably better off without it, and he should keep it that way. But Drinker, you mildly inebriated Force user with a midichlorian count in the thousands, I hear you say? A really good Kylo Ren movie might have redeemed the character and reinvigorated the entire Star Wars brand. Yeah, sure, buddy. Saying that a good Kylo Ren movie would save Star Wars is a bit like saying that a fresh coat of paint would make the Titanic good as new. Even the best movie in the world can't undo the cavalcade of ridiculous bullshit inflicted on Kylo Ren by the sequel trilogy. He's not a character that can be salvaged like that because, well, he never really was a character to begin with. He was just the plaything of whatever asshole happened to be in control of him for that particular movie. His motivations, personality, abilities, and entire worldview shifting to accommodate whatever retarded script he was forced into. And no matter what you try to do after the fact, those films are always gonna be there. They can never be unmade. And there they stand, eternal monuments to the incompetence of people who inherited an empire and overthrew it themselves because they thought they could build something better. And well, it turns out they couldn't. So you know what? I'm actually happy that we never got to see the hunt for Ben Swallow, because no matter how it started out, it would ultimately become just another embarrassing spectacle in a franchise that's practically built on them at this point. Adam Driver deserved better, Kylo Ren deserved better, and Star Wars deserved better. And well, how best to sum up my thoughts on this one? Oh yeah.
Let the past die. Kill it, if you have to.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.